name is Courtney, and I'm here with Gary Lohman and Patrick Cruickshank. Gary is the VPX of 9 Mile Metals, and Patrick is the CEO. Hi, you guys.
How you doing, Courtney?
I'm
Hi,
good.
Courtney. How are you?
I'm good. How's it going with you guys?
Everything's going really well.
Great. I know that you put out some news this week about the status of the phase 2 drill program at California Lake South. And so, Gary, I'm hoping that you can just give me a little bit of an update on how things are moving along there.
Yes, we we got all of our data in, as you could see from the press release, and EarthEx with the work that they did on the TDEM grid identified four priority plates within the grid, and they've given us azimuth dip. They've modeled the plates and they've given us drill collars for all of these priorities. And there were four additional plates that were, I'd say, a little weaker. They're still there, and they'll be addressed at a later date. But these top four are what we're after right now. They're well aligned and with the geology. We're dealing with good rhyolite. There is some sediments in there, is what we want.
Mhm.
And right now we're going to be drilling plate A, and geologically, this is our prime target. It's key because it's right at the folded nose that we've been discussing all along. And in that location, it's a large, conductive, strong plate. And in those places, that's where everything will squeeze together. And if you mineralization in that, that's where it'll thicken and condense. So that is a priority. It's at depth. It's deeper than anything that's been drilled in the area. So we're really excited to get on that one. And plate C was also a strong, large conductor. And B and D, D's partially related to A, and B's a little off to the side, a little shallower, but again, independent and is a priority.
Great. And so you have undergone drilling. I know that you are out in Bathurst right now. You said that you were on site today and you got a
Yeah.
sprinkler. No, but so far
Yeah,
on.
it's a little cold out there. We've drills on site. We got everything's lined up. We're underway, and I do have some pictures, and I'll be out again to get with some pics and video of the drill site.
I'm looking forward to seeing those photos. And
Yeah.
I know that EarthEx has provided you guys with the data all graphed out in those really excellent maps. So I was hoping maybe you could open up the map and then we could look at some of the images together.
Yeah.
Perfect. Patrick, I think you have that on your screen.
There we go.
So what are we looking
Yeah.
at here?
Yeah. Yeah, you can see the detail here, with the time domain grid and the extended lines. And in the background, I believe Patrick right now is on plate A. And we've got
Like that.
this these were flown at like 35-meter spacing, so we've got quite really good definition of the magnetics, and you can see all the little individual nodes and features that the UAV provides. These are the plates are, I guess, sort of parallel to the stratigraphy and the magnetics, but again, they are separate. You can see some contacts in different versions of the magnetics, which is good. I mean, it's not, like I say, it makes them very much independent. They're not one continuous structure as that may appear in some megatem.
And when you flip it over to the other side, can you show us what that looks like
Yeah.
under there?
So just so everyone knows, this is plate D, plate A, plate C is here, and plate D is being hidden by this strong
Yeah,
conductor axis. But this is the UAV high definition 3D that we're looking through transparent layer, and you can see the individual definition versus when I rotate it, you'll see the traditional mag as well, and that's what was in the press release. So these yellow lines are our perpendicular drill holes,
yeah.
proposed drill holes. So So if we rotate this, you can start to see the subsurface modeling and isoshells, and we'll try to do it slowly. This is your transparent older technology magnetics, but you
Yeah.
can see it's
Yeah,
all in
this,
different layers, so we can see it. But there's our plates and our 3D isoshell subsurface. Now that it is very, very large nodes, and we can turn these on and off. But yeah, it's you can start to see it on the halos of these conductivity trends.
Yeah.
You know,
Cool.
yeah, yeah. So there is plate A right here. We're looking at it from west to east. And this was the borehole on California 10 right there. So you can start to see. And Gary, why don't you talk a little bit how we want to be on the halo. We don't want to be in the actual middle of the magnetics. We want to be on the halo, which lines up, here and here with the deposits are normally on the halo of the magnetics.
Yeah, that's where this lines up very nicely. Usually there's very nice little nodes that's related to the mineralization in here and with the deposits in the BMC. And we're well positioned in this area with the various iterations of the magnetics that you go through. And there is, I have another program. I look at this with the basics. It's in 2D, but it also provides me with the geology and some of the other features and contacts. And from that, we can see that these plates are, like I say, it's a good mix of flat landing brook felsic volcanics, and there are related mafics and sediments with it. So it's like sort of ideal hunting ground. And these targets, again, are not related. Like prior, we've had you can get graphitic shears and pyritized contacts, but those rock types have not been identified in this area. So and being down at that folded nose, I mean, that's a perfect hunting ground.
Yeah. That's really cool to see it visualized like this. Like I know we
Yeah,
can.
and it's also good having EarthEx design the holes because you can see in 3D it's uh, that's sort of the best way to look at this. It's not just a flat plate as it appears. It's going to have a little twist to it, dipping a certain way. They could do all those calculations, and when they design the drill hole, like we say, it's going into the sweet spot. The plates, and that's just the extent of their modeling. The depth extension's not known because if you remember some of the other videos, they can only see so far, and then they're maybe doing some extrapolation. So due to the geophysical parameters of the system, so we know we've got further strike extent and especially depth.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, the way I'll explain it is primarily those plates is not the size of the body or the anomaly
No,
we're trying
not at all.
well, that is a rectangle drill target like board, like a dartboard. That's
Yeah,
what we're trying to hit, and that drill hole is hitting the center of that.
the bullseye.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now, because Mother Nature, this deposit could be egg shaped, it could be hourglass shaped, it could be whatever Mother Nature.
yeah.
And because this is a survey from the surface, the power is only so strong to see below to a certain depth. I mean, it's incredible that we've got enough. You can see all these data points and nodes from the survey. So think of each one of those as its own borehole, flashlight going down, and then it's compiled into a 3D. But it's amazing that we can see down up to like 800 meters. So that target right here, target A, that just represents the top of the target. Right? We're not going to, it's open at depth. It goes much deeper. These are vertical deposits that we're looking for, and it lines up perfectly. And same with target C, and then we've got target D right up, B, sorry, right here with its own
Yeah.
drill hole. And, we're going to drill them all. But Gary, can you talk about how these are not, VMS is not a trend? It's not like we're going to hit this series of trends over 15 kilometers of strike. Each one of
No.
these targets and deposits are individual. Like, remember, they're burps that come out of these old volcanoes, and it stays together like a solid brick. So, and it may break with the folding and stuff, and you get
Yeah.
multiple ends. But this is primarily because I know some people are asking, well, why don't you drill this one? It's shallower and smaller, and you can test it and do that, and then go over and if that hits, then you go there. These can be completely separate entities.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's the thing, and conferring with the government and
Yeah. And
structural geologist and an EarthEx and our technical team, the highest priority is A, even though it's a little deeper, but it is the closest to the folded nose and on the halo.
yeah,
So
that's the folded nose is a key piece here too. Um, and all the discussions like with the government and structural geologists, this is the BMC's got 5 phases of deformation that have this, all the ground is fairly vertical.
Mhm.
And as it's been folded, faulted, there's thrust faults through it. So it's critical to have some modeling like this to look for like these independent targets because it's not just a big linear you're chasing. There are rock types that are important,
Yeah,
but it's not one continuous unit. And that's why the ground surveys and modeling help discern, the priority ground you're looking for.
for sure. And I know that these surveys were a little time consuming over the summer, but it's so great to see this finished product and
Yeah.
see how it's
Yeah.
helping to make better drilling target predictions.
Yes.
Very
yeah, it's taken a long time, but it's well worth it, and we're going to stay the course and use the new technology, and it's going to take that to find these deposits.
Yeah.
It really is.
fantastic. Well, what's next
Yeah.
to come? What should we keep our eyes and ears open for?
Yes. Like I say,
Well,
you'll have some pictures and videos shortly.
now remember, top of target on this is what, Gary, about 700 meters, roughly?
Yeah.
A little bit more. So it's not, we're not going to hit there tomorrow, guys.
No. Yeah.
It's going to take some time. So
Yeah.
we have other geophysics. We've got all of our, obviously you can see that our UAV complete grid area is complete. And we have multiple layers, not just this one, all different types of magnetic layers to analyze. And we do have our wedge grid is complete. This one down here. So this is the wedge mine, the original,
Mhm.
and wedge east is over here. And we are up to 8 kilometers away.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is over, if you were to lay our targets, you got 3, 4, 5, 6s over here. So that is what we're going through right now with EarthEx and our technical team, and we will come back out with an update on that as soon as we have the complete analytics done with recommendation drill holes, etc. So we're very, very excited. That is the biggest grid we had.
Wow.
So yeah,
And I think people can, with that, if you back out a bit, Patrick, there you go. Now people can take a look and you can see the extent of the work that's been done. And when you look at the scale at the side,
Mhm.
yeah, the scale bar, this was a large grid and this covers a large area.
well, it was
So that's,
roughly around 114 line kilometers for the drone.
Wow.
It's, because it's got the whole wedge property right here, pretty much. You've got Cali East, you've got call it Cali South, Cali Northwest. I mean, it's quite extensive. So we're pretty it was a big undertaking rather than most companies that just do one little focused area and then off and
no,
running. We did the whole portfolio primarily. So
yeah.
we are And that's why we were talking about next year we'll be able to go back to the 9 Mile Brook East portfolio, and not just the lens area. Don't forget, we acquired a whole bunch of ground and trends that were identified by EarthEx, similar to this, where the geology goes under the saddle and comes back up the east side. And we're going to attack that next year. So this is going to give us drill holes and targets and high quality, high priority target layer, medium priority. Like, we're going to have so many drill targets here to move forward. We really don't have much geophysics left on the Western portfolio.
That's so exciting.
It's been, like Patrick said, it's been a big undertaking, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, can you imagine doing this, 50 years ago, just looking around the land and trying to pick a drill hole?
Or starting like now with the drone. And when
Yeah,
I first started, like I said to Patrick, if you could get a mile done a day with a handheld mag and walking, you were
right.
good. Now you're getting 60 to 100 kilometers. It
And it makes
better,
you wonder what they are gonna like, what will be around in the next 20 years if we have this
yeah,
technology now. I love it.
yeah. No, it's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, here's another way we can look at the targets and turn off some of the subsurface nodes. Yeah, and you can actually get in there and see the other plates in here. So it's pretty, these are big trends. So
Mm.
obviously, um, we're going to have some of the bigger subsurface models there, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but it does all line up with EarthX's late time strong conductors. It's that's fantastic, and adds credibility to the technology and the work that they've done.
Yeah.
And it's pretty spectacular. I mean, the definition now versus just if you look under here, you will see that this is what we used to have. And there's no definition, right? It's almost
It's all
2D.
nice and smooth. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the big anomaly. And okay. And but not with the 3D individual nodes. So I mean,
Yeah.
that's like, and we've had this with other projects and other areas where shows the older technology shows one big huge anomaly. And then when you use a UAV, it's actually three of them with gaps in between.
Yeah,
And just like target A and target C, there's a gap, and you can see it. There's a structural, like it ends here and it's over here. Like there isn't anything here. So it's not a continuation. So this is the power of this technology, is to show. So I mean, we've also had a lot of historic drill holes, and they say, oh, the area is drilled out. And when you overlay it, the holes aren't hitting any defined target. So of course they didn't hit anything.
Yeah.
So it's really a groundbreaking advancement in technology. So we really believe this is really going to help the camp in general. And we should see a wave of new discoveries going forward.
Yeah.
So we're very excited.
Yeah, it gets very granular, and like I mentioned before, there's various iterations of the magnetics that they use, and with that, once you get the plates on, you can also get some fault definition, and you can see where some of the breaks in the geology are. So it's just a really powerful tool.
Yeah. So we will bring our next news release with the wedge and the targets and the plates on the west wedge, we should call it. And can't wait to share that with everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to seeing that. And thank you for showing this. This has been a really good visual touch point on what's been going on. So thank you, you guys.
All right. Thank you very much, Courtney.
Thanks for having us. Look forward to seeing everyone again.
Okay, sounds good. Chat soon, you guys.
Thank you, Court.
Bye.